All right, hello. My name is Talaya Jones, and this is going to be my respiratory awareness presentation. So I'll begin with the organ system and the locations. So first, we have the nasal cavity, which filters, heats, and humidifies incoming air. So when you breathe in, and is situated in the upper respiratory area or system. Then you have the pharynx or the throat. It's a muscular tube which joins down here that joins the larynx and is situated between the nasal and oral cavities, which is around the mouth. Then we have the vocal cords, which are in the larynx, also known as the voice box. So that's allowing us to be able to make sounds and to talk. They are located in the neck and also keeps food from getting into the lower respiratory system. And then we have the trachea. It's also known as the windpipe. It is the passageway that leads from the larynx into the chest and delivers air to the lungs. So within the lungs, the trachea is split into two bronchi, which you have seen right here down in the middle. And then each of those branch into bronchioli, which is what you see these little stems. Then we have the lungs. There where gas exchange takes place and are spongy organs found in the thoracic cavity. So those are right here. The lungs' tiny air sacs are called alveoli, which are where bloodstream exchanges carbon dioxide and oxygen through. And then we have the diaphragm, which is right here, which is below everything. The diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle that is essential to breathing and is located between the lungs. So it keeps everything in and blocks from the ribs and everything else. Then we have the function of the respiratory system. We have the nasal cavity, which filters out dust and pathogens and also humidifies air, which is right here. Then we have the pharynx and larynx, again, which directs air into the trachea, prevents aspiration. Then we have the trachea and bronchi, which conduct air to the lungs, which is right here. Then we have the lungs and alveoli, which facilitate the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. And then we also have the diaphragm, which again enables lung expansion and contraction. So here we have inspiration and expiration. So inspiration, also known as inhalation, meaning inhaling. The diaphragm contracts and moves downward, increasing thoracic volume and decreasing pressure, allowing the air to flow through the lungs. So when we breathe in, our diaphragm contracts, moves downward, and it increases our volume while decreasing the pressure in the lungs to allow the air to flow into our lungs. Then we have expiration or exhalation or exhaling. The diaphragm relaxes, releases, reducing thoracic volume and increasing pressure, pushing out air out the lungs. So the pressure inside the lungs are increased when you exhale and it pushes out the air out the lungs. Then we have Boyle's law, states that pressure and volume are inversely proportional. When lung volume increases, pressure decreases, allowing air to enter. Therefore, when volume decreases, pressure increases and forces air out. Then we have the respiratory volumes, we have tidal volume, we have inspiratory reserve volume, we have expiratory reserve volume, and we also have residual volume. And then here are the respiratory capacities. So we have the vital capacity, which is shown right here. Oh, it's not right here. Then we have the total lung capacity, which is right here. Then we have the inspiratory capacity, which is right here. And then we also have functional residual capacity, which is right here. So we have different capacities in each level. Relationship to other systems. So another relationship is the circulatory system, which works with the respiratory system to transport oxygen in and remove carbon dioxide out of the body. Then we have the nervous system. It helps regulate breathing rate and depth, which is shown right here. Or sorry, excuse me, no, there. Then we have the muscular system, includes the diaphragm and intercostal muscles that facilitate breathing, which is oxygen flows throughout our whole body. And then we have the immune system, protects the respiratory tract from infections. So the immune system also works with obviously the respiratory system, especially for pneumonia and things like that are respiratory sicknesses. Not too far. Okay, then we have medical problems associated. So we have asthma, which is just chronic inflammation causing airway narrowing, basically hard to breathe. We have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Then we have pneumonia, which I said before, an infection causing inflammation in the alveoli. And then we have the tuberculosis, which is a bacterial infection that affects the lungs. And then we have lung cancer, which is uncontrolled cell growth in the lung tissues. So how do we have lung cancer prevention? So number one, avoid smoking, which is a primary cause of lung cancer, and quitting significantly reduces your risk. Number two, reduce exposure to pollutants and minimize exposure to secondhand smoke. So even if you are not smoking, even secondhand smoke can affect is a pollutant. And then three, healthy diet and exercise, like antioxidant-rich foods and regular exercise to support lung health. And then here are my citations, and thank you for watching.